you can be positive in a way that is real.
Yes.
You can be positive in a way that yet is showing optimism, but at the same time you're being empathetic with the situation because.
Hi, everybody, and welcome back to the LeadHer Lounge. Today's episode is going to be all about toxic positivity, which sounds like it's going to be a good thing sometimes, but it can be pretty detrimental to a team and to your relationship with your leaders, or with your employees. We're going to talk about 3 common mistakes that leaders make when it comes to toxic positivity. So the first one is
shutting down negative emotions with quick fixes. We have one episode about emotional intelligence, so go back and listen to it if you haven't yet, because we talk about, yes, being self-aware about our emotions, making sure that we know how to self-manage so we don't negatively impact our team members or the people around us. So our purpose in here is, if you have any type of emotions, if you feel sad, angry, feel those emotions. We all need to feel them. We all need to cry. We all need to yell if we are in a space where we can do those things. Yeah. When we talk about emotional intelligence, especially when you are a leader, is that you need to make sure that you are not doing those things in front of people, because this is gonna, of course, affect others. Yeah. So now with toxic positivity, which is the other extreme, is that you're shutting down those emotions. So when somebody is upset or when somebody comes to you because they are sad about something that is going on at home, you're like trying to see the silver line and say like things are gonna be better. And yes, you want to help. You want to be that cheerleader, and we all need those people. But also we need to be allowed to feel and have that time to process and grieve and whatever it is.
I know. Yes. We both come from leadership backgrounds, and we both have played the role of therapist so many times when you are in a one-on-one with a team member and they are going through something, maybe it's personal, maybe it's work related, but they are really feeling their feelings and they're upset, something's bothering them. But your role is to be empathetic. And you can't fix everything, and you have to know that you can't fix everything. But just listen to learn and don't try to fix everything. They're looking to share this with you because that's a form of self-management. They are feeling a certain way, and they know they can't scream and cry at work, so they're coming to you to have a productive conversation. So be available for them. You don't have to carry the burden, and I know that's easier said than done too, because we care, exactly. Yes. And we're very empathetic people, and we care about our team members. But when they are sharing something like that, it is your responsibility to just listen and don't try to be like, it's going to be fine. Oh, you know what? This is just a bump in the road. You're going to get over this. If they're really expressing something that's bothering them, you need to just be a listening ear for them.
Yes, and I'll be careful with what they are sharing with you as well. We are no licensed therapists when we are leaders, which we were and we should be, actually, because the things that employees have shared with me,
same.
They're very difficult. So if there is something like abuse and something like death is going on, and you don't know, we are not prepared for those things, and we are not asking you to be prepared for those situations, you do need to lean on the company and what they can provide. So be very resourceful, because we have the EAP, which is the Employee Assistance Program, which can help your team members in this situation. So don't, again, like Taylor said, don't take everything on and just try to solve them, because sometimes we don't have the words, and they don't need us to always have the words or the things that they can do next. They just need the support and listening and be there. But the most important thing is don't shut down those emotions. The second thing is avoiding difficult conversations in the name of staying positive. And we see that a lot. You don't want to provide feedback because you know that team member is going to be upset. You don't want to coach somebody because you know the team is going to see that and is going to feel uncomfortable. So you just avoid that conversation and move on. And that's not fair with your team members. Everybody, the only way to grow is receiving feedback in
Absolutely.
coaching. That's the only, you're just actually doing a damage on them if you don't those things. Just because you want to sound like the happy and the positive leaders and like she or he is so cool and they don't have, any type of anger or whatever it is. Like
Yeah.
one thing about anger, like we all have to feel it. It's
It's a
part of
healthy
us.
emotion.
It is
That's something you need to feel.
yes.
We can't always shut it down.
Yeah, as long as you are not being angry towards somebody and creating those
crazy at
bad,
work. Yeah.
bad emotions. The third one, creating a culture where a struggle feels like failure.
In a lot of instances, leaders will only celebrate the good things that happen. And that can be, obviously, yes, we want to celebrate wins, big or small, but if we're not really acknowledging the challenges or even sometimes the failures that are happening on the team, then people are going to be afraid to fail. And they're going to feel like I can only come to my leader when something good is happening.
Yes.
And when we were talking about this episode, we were talking about how when we would do our team meetings and things, we would actually have people share their wins, but share their challenges. What's something that's a challenge that you're actually grateful for? Because when you're done and over this tough challenge, you're going to be better because of it. Not just sharing like, okay, well, I finished this project on time. And then you're like, you got 10 other things that you have roadblocks for. And you don't want to share that because you're embarrassed and your leader's not going to celebrate that.
Yes. Now we are going to go over what actions you can actually take when you are very positive, but you don't want to be a toxic positive leader. So the first one is practice active listening before offering encouragement.
Yeah.
And we have talked about this a lot. Listen to learn. We actually, one of the previous episodes, we talk about the 70-30 rule where you listen 70% of the time and you talk 30% of the time. So that 70% allows you to know what is going on. Sometimes the answer is in your team members when they're talking. They're coming to you with a question, with a concern, with something, and the answer sometimes is there because you allow them to talk. And there is a self-discovering in that process as well. So stay there, practice active listening, and understand when you can be that positive, because we want you to be positive. We want you to create that environment where everybody feels good and empowered, but at the same time will feel comfortable sharing things with you as well. The second one is normalize a full range of emotions in the workplace.
This can be tough, I think, because a lot of what we've learned, I feel like, is to just like don't feel too much at work. But if you are a leader who you create a safe environment and your employees feel like they can not only come to you, but they can go to each other too for support in certain things, you can provide them with a space where they can self-manage and feel their feelings at work and then continue to be productive the rest of the day. Because think about like those moments when you are going through something really tough and challenging and you're just keeping it in and you can't focus on anything else at work. If you were to just be able to emote to someone and share how you're feeling, you can actually help them, or that you can self-manage better, and your cortisol starts to decrease, your dopamine starts to increase, and you can have more of a productive workday because you're not dwelling on that bad thing that might be happening.
Yes, and I think for the third one kind of like help with what you're saying, and you mentioned that before, like how to balance that optimism with empathy and being realistic as well.
Yeah.
And when you were saying like it's good to share in our wins and talk about what is going, like the good things that are happening. But as a leader too, and that's an invitation for you leaders, it's important to be vulnerable and say like, today I'm having a rough day. Or, guys, like this process it has been challenging for me. I have to say, you guys have to give me some best practices because it haven't been easy for me. You can be positive in a way that is real.
Yes.
You can be positive in a way that yet is showing optimism, but at the same time you're being empathetic with the situation, because especially when processes are changing, transformation is happening in your organization, that is difficult. And you cannot be like, okay, we got this. Yes, we got this, but it's going to be hard. And we need from everybody. And it's going to be difficult, but we're here. I'm here for you guys. And I hope to have your back as well, because I'm going to need it in this change. So
absolutely,
just balance that. Again, we want you to be positive, especially in this type of world we live today. We want and we need positive people, but make sure that it's not turning in something.
You want to be down to earth.
Yes.
You got to be down to earth. You got to be realistic. One example that I wanted to share, just to kind of help paint a picture of what toxic what toxic positivity looks like. I remember having a conversation with a leader when I was in retail, and I was like ready to get out of the industry, so ready. But I expressed this to my leader, who I loved and I had a great relationship with, but her response to me was, you're just having a moment. You're just going through something. Like, you're such an amazing employee. Just power through this, push through this. And like, who knows, maybe you're going to be leading like the flagship store one day. But that goes back to like point one of that just dismissed all of my emotions that I was feeling. I was feeling stuck. I was feeling overwhelmed. I was feeling like I don't want to be here anymore. So that was an example that stood out when we said toxic positivity is going to be one of these topics. I was like, this is definitely something that I've personally experienced, where I'm like, you're not helping me get to the next step at all. You're not listening to me. You're just like, oh God, I don't want to lose this employee. So I'm going to have to like say everything that I can to get her to stay. But so don't do that. But if you do have any other examples like the one that I shared, or if you've got any tips and tricks for how to overcome toxic positivity, please let us know in the comments below. If you haven't already, please subscribe. And
yes,
that's
we will
it.
see you next week, leaders. Bye.
Bye.